After a narrow victory in Week 1 against Amel, we look to go 2-0 in the BBL in our Week 2 battle against Seabad and his Detroit Steel Wings. Seabad has a very threatening Uber, with Deoxys able to deal massive damage to my entire team, especially with the Indeedee Psychic Terrain angle, blocking priority and enabling a powerful expanding force. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single upload for the BBL or any of the other competitive Draft League content we do every week on this channel. Getting into the matchup, our team consists of Lunala, Greninja, Terra Kingambit, Florges, Blastoise, Infernape, Bronzong, Dudunsparce, Houndstone, Mudsdale, and Swalot. Seabad's team consists of Deoxys, Garchomp, Clefable, Terra Indeedee, Terra Iron Hands, Bramblegast, Metagross, Chiyu, Manaphy, Dipplin, and Jumpluff. Terra Iron Hands has been a Pokemon I have loved using in our FBL run, and it has a ton of utility in this matchup. Terra Dark in prep was the most likely, as it helps answer the Lunala and Kingambit to great effect. The key to this game is going to be entry hazards, with Spikes playing very well into both sets of teams this week. Garchomp is going to have plenty of opportunity to set up spikes against Pokemon like Mudsdale, while Greninja is able to force free turns against Chiyu and Garchomp, enabling our ability to get up spikes. Our key to victory is going to be Kingambit, which with its powerful dark coverage is able to break through the powerful Psychic Terrain angles this team can run once Garchomp is out of the way. Our lead this week is Infernape, running Choice Scarf for the second straight week as a way to combat Seabad's Deoxys. We are running a standard moveset for physical Choice Scarf Infernape with U-turn and knockoff to both either punish the Deoxys or potential switch in. Close combat gives us a way to Oko Chiyu, another one of Seabad's big threats. Flare Blitz finalizes the set to deal massive damage to the Metagross, another potential win con for Seabad's team. Our EV spread allows us to outspeed all Garchomp sets, with extra bulk being removed from attack to better live extreme speed from different Deoxys sets. Lunala is running back its choice item as well, bringing the exact same choice spec set as Week 1 against Amel. Seabad's only normal type is Indeedee, which takes a massive amount of damage from choice specs Moonblast or Psyshock, and can take a massive amount of damage from Moongeist Beam if it decides to Terra out of its normal type. Psyshock also gives us coverage hit AV Iron Hands and Calm Mind Clefable as well, with Trick being another tool to hold down the Clefable or Iron Hands if they try to set up. Our first deviation from Week 1 comes with Greninja, as we have elected to go with the Protean set this week. Spikes are going to be a crucial part of this game, with Garchomp having plenty of opportunities to get a spike up against our own team. This is why we have heavy duty boots and spikes of our own on Greninja, allowing us to try and win the hazard war while keeping up offensive pressure. Our set is fairly simple otherwise, with Surf to kill Chiyu, Ice Beam to kill Garchomp, and Sludge Wave to kill Clefable. Kingambit is Terra Dark this week, as Indeedee plus Deoxys can enable a very powerful expanding Force Psychic Terrain build. Chocolate Berry allows us to provide more support against the Deoxys as well, allowing us to live superpower from a mixed or physical set. Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, and Kowtow Cleave are standard moves on most Kingambit sets that we will run this season, enabling for powerful endgames with the Dark Terra. Iron Head is our final coverage move, giving us a way to break Clefable and any potential Terra Fairy, Indeedee or Iron Hands. With the Hazard War being a critical part of this battle, we are required to bring Rapid Spin as a way to help win the Hazard War long term. Blastoise with Assault Vest accomplishes that role, while also operating as a Chiyu check. The moveset is pretty simple, with Flip Turn allowing us to take momentum after taking a big hit, Surf to deal damage to the Chiyu, and Ice Beam to pressure Garchomp and aggressive switch-ins into Bramblegast or Dipplin. Our EVs are mixed defensively to help live multiple Earthquakes from offensive Garchomp if we need to kill it with Ice Beam. Our final Pokemon on the team is Mudsdale, looking to take advantage of Seabad's weaker ground resist, as Numnexus did in Week 1 to great effect. Dipplin is the only real consistent answer to Mudsdale, as Lash Out allows us to make aggressive attacks into the Bramblegast. This is also our Stealth Rocker, with plenty of opportunities to get them set up, with Iron Hands likely to be such a key part of this game. Earthquake is standard sap coverage, and Heavy Slam allows us to pressure Clefable looking to set up. Our item is leftovers to take advantage of situations where we are on the field for a long period of time against Pokemon like the Iron Hands or the Metagross, leveraging our stamina ability to wall his entire physical offense. That is our team for Week 2 of the BBL against Seabad. Let me know in the comments down below what you would have done differently with this team. Shout out to Diet Tight, Obo, and OG Albina for the mock and build support this week. Let's get right into the battle. Alright, it's time to battle Seabad. His Terra is Terra Water Iron Hands. Our game plan was to always lead with Choice Scarf Infernape to deter any shenanigans with the Deoxys. So that really doesn't change our game plan here, given what we see here. The Dipplin is the only thing that's like a little surprising. Not something I was totally expecting, but hey, no problem there. we do have plenty of Pokemon that can put pressure on that Dipplin. So Terra Water Iron Hands is interesting. Terra Dark was one of the more popular types in mocks because it did a good job of handling the Lunala. But Terra Water is really good because, I mean, it's a good way to answer Mudsdale, have, I guess, decent coverage. It removes the electric weakness and gives you Terra Blast, which might not be the biggest deal, but certainly, I guess, helps with some of the damage from Blastoise. So, I don't know. Interesting choice. Let's see how it plays out. Obviously, my assumption on Terra is that he's defensive, but he could very well be offensive. So let's go. He's got Goku, the Iron Hands lead. It's a little bit awkward. So one of the things that, as I kind of pointed out, the water does make this like just a little bit better against the Mudsdale, which is a little bit unfortunate. So we're going to have to be a little bit more mindful of that. I am just going to U-turn straight away here. No reason for me to get creative. Kind of want to see if he Terras here or switches out. I assume he won't switch out. I mean, Fear of Will-O-Wisp is like potentially high here, but we do just see the Terra go off. And we'll be able to go. We'll probably still have to go Mudsdale. Our team is not as well equipped to handle Terra Water as I would like it to. I will say that is, like, as a specific typing, a little bit problematic. But we'll see a little bit of chip there on Iron Hands. So U-turn, I mean, that looks to be what we expect. I mean, I'm still going to go into Mudsdale. I could go. I mean, he's not Thunder Punching. I think he is just going to Terra Blast, because that covers a lot of things. I still need the HP on Blastoise, that's for sure. I guess the question is you know what? I think I still go Mudsdale. I want to gauge the set early here, and I shouldn't take too much damage to where this is theoretically a massive problem at this point. So I would like to see. He's just going to CC here, so this gives us a lot of good information. So that did 157. So it did the 150. So this should just be adamant. This should just be adamant here. Adamant 252 range, and then Terra Blast at +1 defense. This does not kill. So I think I can just go for the Earthquake here. I would like to get my rocks up, of course, but breaking this Iron Hands now is going to be super important because I can't leverage this Pokemon as much in this matchup. So getting chip here on this Pokemon is just going to be that much more important. So let's just go for the Earthquake. If he switches, he switches. Wow, I guess I could have got my rocks up there. Earthquake is pretty good here either way, though. I mean, he can go Dipplin. That's the only thing that really, I guess, prevents this from being a problem, or, you know, stops this. He's got to bring this. This is his only ground resist. I guess he does have the, what's it called? The Brambleghast, but elected to not bring it, which is fair. It's not really a great Pokemon to bring here. So now the problem with Dipplin here now becomes I actually don't necessarily have the best switch-ins to Dipplin. I think my best play realistically is just to go hard Infernape. I expect like Grass Move if anything. Could go for a Draco. He's just going to double here. Okay, so now we know that this is also faster. And he's just going to go back into Iron Hands here. Back into Iron Hands. That is fine, honestly. I still, you know, I mean, this Pokemon is going to become a problem at some point. That's kind of the thing with Iron Hands, is there's only so much you can do to this Pokemon over time. I mean, I think at this point, I mean, I don't really have another play. I need to keep this as my Choice Scarf user. I just have to U-turn here. Some good plays kind of keeping him in this one. But at this point, I think we need to keep Mudsdale at high HP, because that Pokemon is so important here in this game. I do expect a Terra Blast to come out. I don't want to get rid of my shield on Lunala just yet. If I look at the Calyx Moongeist Beam after 2 U-turns is not doing enough. So I think what I want to do is I have to start sacking HP on something. I have to see, like, how do I realistically get out of this and like put pressure on this? Do I have to give up HP on Blastoise? I probably do. I probably do have to give up HP on this. This gives me at least a profitable turn. Potentially, he's just gonna click CC every time. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. We've taken a lot of HP here on our Blastoise, and we didn't have to. Really expect the Terra Blast to be the move of choice there. I don't think there's any way he... I think he can probably switch out. I think we're just going to go Mudsdale. We probably should have gone this last time, but CC into CC was realistically free. This at least gives us a really powerful Earthquake to put the rest of the HP we need on that Pokemon. And he's just going to Volt Switch. Okay, so not the cleanest start to this game. We're really waffling around this Iron Hands. It's really picking up key HP in situations that we don't want it to. This is a classic Iron Hand set that I would bring to. Man, that's... I would love to have Iron Hands on this team, that's for sure. Now, I should be able to live any hit from this, so I'm just going to get up my rocks. I have to start pressuring this Iron Hand somehow. And he, was very, willing to switch into Diplin last time, so I should be able to live any hit. This at least, I mean, I'm going to have to sack this off for damage, but if I can get rocks up, he's got no spinner, and then I can use this as an opportunity to get massive damage on the Iron Hands the turn after, then I think I have to take that trade with my Mudsdale. Obviously, we would like to have it for more things, but he's letting us get HP back on this, which is good. Letting us get HP back on this, which is good, and the rocks are up to finally punish that Pokemon, and we'll punish this from coming in any more than it has to. I mean, the question is he going to pull the same double? And the question is honestly, do I care at that point? Given the amount of HP that I'm at, a U-turn plus rocks, I mean, after a CC should be fine. So I'm just going to go right back into Infernape, keep it simple. He's going to click here. He could click something like a Draco Meteor. That's a possibility. As I said, I should keep this around, but he's just going to Dragon Pulse, okay. Should be perfectly fine to live that now. Extreme Speed becomes a little bit more dicey now, but we just have to then be mindful of the HP of the Pokemon we have in the back. I think at this point with Infernape on Diplin, I mean, I'm just going to U-turn off of this thing, get a slow U-turn into something like the... Get a slow U-turn off into something like the Lunala here. I expect Dragon Move to come out here. We're starting to whittle this team down. I'm losing HP on some key resources, but now that just means I have to use this as a check to Chi-Yu, to Metagross in this battle. At this point, I could go into King Gambit. King Gambit should be able to chew any hit this thing wants to put my way. Unfortunately, it can eat any hit I want to do back. I don't have a lot of great options here, to be honest. I think maybe my best play realistically is to give up my Shadow Shield on Lunala here early. It's not great, but I think it's what I have to do. I don't really have a good game plan to some of the low tiers that he brought. So Giga Drain does a little bit, but we are still in a really, really good position here now. And like this Moonblast should do 1,000,000 damage here, and I don't think there's any reason to go for a different move. I could Moongeist Beam. He's not doing anything to me. I could see what his switch-in is to this. So I think Moongeist Beam is probably my safest bet. I don't think I see him going into something like Chi-Yu on this turn. I think I just pick up my kill, pick up something with Moongeist Beam. It's going to do a lot to this Pokemon, that's for sure. I would have been able to kill with the Moonblast and probably should have maybe taken the opportunity to do that. But that might not have even have killed. And he's just going to Dragon Tail me out to prevent a setup. Okay. So that's a good turn, honestly. That's not the worst. If I get into something that's fast that can kill this, then that's a good opportunity. It's not great. This could be better. So this should kill. I am faster. I do have 24 extra EVs and speed, so that should give me just like a little bit enough to guarantee the Kowtow cleave kill here. And getting out of the steel type is fine because he doesn't have something like Brambleghast that really punishes that. And I mean, he has a tough time switching into this Kowtow cleave. He's just going to stay in. I'll take that. And then we should be able to pick off the Diplin here. We should be able to pick up the Diplin here. This should easily outspeed and be able to do 24% minimum. So that'll be our first kill of the battle. The fact that we got the first kill of this battle is crazy, considering I feel like I've been in the back foot the entire time. But Diplin, look, we waffled around the Diplin a little bit, but King Gambit pulls out a kill early. And while this is going to be one of our ways to win the end game, hey, getting an early kill is definitely really, really nice in this battle. The question now becomes, this is where the battle starts to get interesting on Iron Hands, is do I use my Choppleberry to kill it? That Pokemon has been such a hassle for me in this battle, and he doesn't have the thing is Kowtow. I don't think Kowtow's not doing enough to make that play beneficial, unfortunately. So not really profitable for me to do. I think I can go hard into Lunala in that situation though. So he's probably Assault Vest here. Like that has to be the set he is. So he probably can't go Lunala. That would probably not make a lot of sense. I also get to preserve the information on my berry here by doing this. And if he goes for the Terra Blast Water, I just don't see him going for Terra Blast Water on this specific turn. And this gives me a really powerful Earthquake. I either get a lot of the chip that I need on this Pokemon, Drain Punch. Okay, we take that. It gives, a little bit of HP gained back to Seabad, but as I said, we got our rocks up. how much is this doing? Like, what is my risk to die to Terra Blast here? Terra Blast, I mean, Terra Blast is never killing. Earthquake is dealing some nice damage here, so I might as well go for it. And there's really not a great switch into this Earthquake. It's really not. I just need to start chipping this thing. Is honestly what I need to do, and leverage my King Gambit in situations where I'll have to use its HP a little bit more against stuff like Metagross, where this would have been useful, obviously. But Earthquake into Earthquake probably doesn't exactly kill. Oh, he's going to outspeed and CC. Oh, the crit. Damn, that's not good. Yeah, that would have been really, really good Earthquake damage if that wasn't a crit. Yeah, that would have put him certainly into range of like my entire team at this point. All right, wow, this is not optimal, but yeah, really would have liked that chip. Damn, all right. I think our best play here, then I think honestly just to threaten this with Lunala then at this point. It's probably just max, and given the stats, like the most damaging move is like Thunder Punch. To Lunala, this is at like 80%. Yeah, I think I just have to go Lunala here. It's just my best play, just to put offensive pressure. This would have been so much better if I had the chip, but alas, it is what it is. This thing doesn't have knockoff or anything crazy like that I expected to go for. And then Psyshock has a potential chance to kill. It doesn't have a chance to kill, actually. So this is what max on... I just Moongeist Beam here, I think is my best play. He can go Chi-Yu, but I think I'm okay with that if he goes Chi-Yu. Let's just chip on Chi-Yu. I don't think he risks something like... I guess Moonblast is not really something he'll assume here. So with the -1 on the CC, this should have a decent chance to kill. Wow, 1 HP is crazy. All right, he goes for the Volt Switch. All right, that's it after Rocks. That's it after Rocks, and he Volt Switched. All right, wow, that could have been way, way worse than it ended up being. Wow, 1 HP. So dead to Rocks. Iron Hands has dealt with that. That moment's was a nightmare this whole matchup. The one thing I need to see now is what's the Deoxys calc with extreme speed, because that is probably not good here. Oh, my Infernape just lives. My Infernape just lives. This knockoff, the E-speed from Deoxys, so that is really important to keep in mind. Chi-Yu, options are limited at this point. Options are limited. I think my best play is, unfortunately, to go and lose my Blastoise. I could get really aggressive. I can't get aggressive into Infernape. I could get aggressive into Greninja, but I think the problem with this is it's so low HP for Garchomp now that like the use case for this Pokemon is almost non-existent at this point. So I think my best play is just to let go of this Pokemon and bring Greninja in after. Greninja has a really good turn after the fact, because I can just go for the... So we get information here. We get information. It's not specs. It's like 90s. It's just modest. This is modest boots. Okay. So we know that's boots because we didn't see the hazards. And we know that it's modest now. So that's good to know. I guess it could in theory be timid. Let me confirm if timid is a possibility. Timid or modest. So that calc is so close that it's hard to really garner a real opinion on. I'm going to flip turn here in case he predicts like Aqua Jet or something. Yeah, he doesn't predict that. Okay. I do get my Greninja in, which is nice. I do expect Iron Hands to get sacked here. I think that's the most likely play. The question is do I want to get a spike up to take advantage of that? He could also be Scarf. No, he can't be Scarf because he's got boots. Come on. Come on, get your head in the game. We know what this Pokemon is now. Question is do I get up a spike? How useful is the spike in this end game? Realistically, I think probably not that relevant. Obviously, spike is nice for a free turn. But like, how much is this spike actually impacting the end result of this game is the question. I'm just going to surf in case he stays in. I need to take the HP where I can. And if he goes into something else, like obviously he's going to go into this. Yeah, I mean, I should have taken my free spike where it was, but yeah, if he stays in, like the risk is just too high at this point. I don't think the spike doesn't open up many calcs. Like Chi-Yu is boots, and he's going to get the free turn right now into Deoxys, which is really scary right now. Deoxys is a little bit of a problem. So the question is what Deoxys, if he's Psycho Boost, then obviously this is a problem. I don't think he can superpower on this turn, thankfully, because of the fact that I've Proteaned out of that typing. But yeah, this game is starting to fall apart a little bit. Iron Hands is dead to Rock, so I think that's a kill for Mudsdale at least. So Mudsdale put something on the bag here. In comes Garchomp. Interesting. Why is Garchomp out? So Garchomp, if it's out, I mean, Ice Beam kills here, no? Like, I should just be Ice Beaming this? Is there, like, what world does this go wrong if I Ice Beam here? I'm just gonna Ice Beam and get my kill. Yeah, I'll take that. Hey, I'll take that. I needed something to go well this game. That is a huge turn. I don't know what set Seabad was expecting me to be there, but hey, one less Pokemon to deal with. We'll take it. We'll take the Garchomp. And now in comes this fucker. Ah, damn. Is that Boots? No, the pressure goes before. It's Boots. Boots. Okay, interesting. Boots is good to note on Deoxys. That means our Infernape does outspeed. I mean, this is surely going to be a Psycho Boost turn. I have to imagine. I don't know what else you would click in this spot. The question is what do I have to give up? I think my best thing to give up is honestly Lunala at this point. Infernape does like a really good job of checking most of the rest of this team at this point, honestly. And so does King Gambit, and Greninja's really nice too. I think it's the end of the road for Lunala, unfortunately. We'll have to sack Uber to Uber here. But yeah, taking that Garchomp honestly makes this endgame just that much better. Just that much better. And he goes for the Thunderbolt here, okay. So I live that. I expect, I mean, Knockoff has to be coming here, right? I mean, this has to have like Shadow Ball. Yeah, I mean, it's probably just going to Shadow Ball me here. I mean, I got nothing else to do. I'm just going to attack, Moongeist Beam, sack this Pokemon off. That was the plan on this turn, was to sack off Lunala. And now I get a great knockoff turn. This is a great knockoff. I could go for U-turn as well with Infernape. And we have confirmed the calcs. And because it's not Life Orb, the 252 Adamant set doesn't even kill with Extreme Speed here, given my defense stat. So I'm free to go into this and click knockoff. I probably should click Flare Blitz, to be honest. I guess Flare Blitz is technically a free kill, but I could also just U-turn off on this thing. I think he knows it's going to kill, so I'm just going to U-turn. And the reason I want to U-turn is, one, it gives me a really good turn into Chi-Yu, and it has a 50-50 shot of killing this. And if it doesn't kill this, then I can just go into something. I guess like what would happen if he switched into Chi-Yu here? I'm going to U-turn. I think he's going to be scared. Yeah, he's definitely going to be scared of this. You know, no, I think that should give him the information he needs to know that I should be able to kill. And yeah, this is kind of like the turn I was looking for here, was to get a U-turn off on the Chi-Yu. We know it's Boots. We know this is a great turn now for our Greninja. This is a great turn now for Greninja. And I mean, this is a powerful Surf. I'd like to know what the calcs for Surf are against some Metagross. What type of Metagross set are we dealing with? I assume this probably gets sacked off here, surely. I mean, surely we sack this thing off at this point. I don't necessarily know what we would do otherwise. The problem now is Surf is my only really good move to hit the Metagross, which is a little bit problematic. But Flare Blitz into Flare Blitz isn't the endgame if he gives me Chi-Yu with Infernape. So I'm actually okay with that, I think. I guess I do need Chip on the Metagross to play around Okaberry. So he's going to go Metagross here, not giving me that endgame. Oh, he goes into this. Okay. I mean, I'll take this. I'll take this. I'll take a Protean Surf into this guy any day of the week. This will do hella good damage. Oh my god, that just kills. Let's go, Greninja. Dude, Greninja's bag is unreal. And so now I assume he has to go Metagross. Metagross is the only Pokemon that makes sense to go into here. The question here, so it's not Boots. What sort of Metagross set could really cause us problems here? The answer is probably a setup set. It could be Weakness Policy setup, like Weakness Policy Agility. I think, realistically, my best play is just to surf this thing down. I do have Scarf Infernape that kills either of these two Pokemon in the endgame, and if I get Chip, CC also kills. And I have King Gambit with Choppleberry still and full HP. So I honestly think I'm just going to surf and sack this thing off. He might be playing for like an agility endgame, is what I expect honestly out of this. He is playing for the agility weakness policy endgame. Okay, perfect. So I'm okay with that. I'm just going to keep surfing. No reason to get creative here. He can attack me if he wants. I'm all right with that. I don't have Dark Pulse, so no reason to click it there. And Greninja should be able to pick up the rest of these. Psychic's going to do a decent amount, but I live that. Damn, that's a lot of damage. How much is Surf doing here? Oh, Surf just kills. Oh, shit. Alright, we get the roll, I guess. Bro, Greninja, bro. This is a Greninja, and look, I said in the draft analysis, the #1 rule of Draft League is to never pass on Greninja. And what is that? Greninja got the Garchomp, the Dio, the Metagross, the Chiyu. Yeah, you never pass on Greninja. This Pokemon's too good. Wow, what a performance for our good pal Greninja. That is going to be a big win in week 2 of the BBL. Good game to Seabad. Those are some dicey early turns. The Terra Water Iron Hands that I don't know if it didn't have Terra Blast Water, if that just wasn't the set. That wasn't the set we predicted. Maybe just didn't have Terra Blast. Really dicey turns early. But we kept our composure for 2 weeks in a row after kind of waffling in the early game and kept ourselves in and won the game. So there we go, 2-0. Play the song for the Orlando Magic. Next week we play against Viz. The last time we played against Viz, he brought a level 50 Gyarados. So hopefully all his Pokemon are level 100 for this battle. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you all next time.